Today we're making the easiest Viking blood mead that you've ever made. These are the ingredients. 3 pounds of frozen cherries, 2 pounds of honey. I'm only going to use 1 of those gallons of water. I'm also going to be using this yeast right here, and this video does assume that you have a fermentation bucket and an airlock for that fermentation bucket. Total cost for ingredients, not counting the 97 cents for the yeast, is $25.73. I'm assuming that you have sanitized everything you're going to be using in this project, so with that said, let's get started. You're going to want your cherries thawed. Now you could mash those up by hand, but I've got a food processor to speed this process up a little bit, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to do the blending here in real time so that you can understand exactly how long this part of the process takes. There's no reason to overblend these cherries. We just want to break them up a little bit, and that's about all. Cherries are sufficiently mashed, so they're going to go into the fermentation bucket. I warmed up that honey to make it easier to pour, and you can see how easy that is. The first bottle goes in, and the second bottle goes in. Just that simple. I'll be using 1 gallon of that spring water that I showed you, and this is about how easy that part of the process is. Just go ahead and pour it right on in there. Now, if you go back in time and remember, you clicked on this video because it said easy in 5 minutes. So that's what I'm showing you here. I'm no brewmaster, so please keep that in mind. Everybody's in. It's time to mix it all together a little bit. You might want to take 30 seconds, maybe a minute with this part of the process, just to make sure everybody's blended well together and that honey is mixed with the water and the cherry juice. Now, I took a hydrometer reading on this just out of curiosity, but this is really not necessary. You do not need to do this. Mine hit right around 90, 92, so you can assume that's where yours is going to be. I already showed you the yeast, and this is the yeast I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to go ahead and dry pitch this. So let's do that. Now, you could hydrate the yeast if you wanted to. It's going to take about a couple minutes, so it's going to add a little bit of time onto this process. I'm trying to make this as quick and easy as I possibly can for you. Since I'm using the whole packet, I'm not worried about dry pitching it. If I was using partial packet, I'd hydrate it first, but at 97 cents, I'm not really worried about using the whole packet. With dry pitching, however, you do want to make sure that yeast is sufficiently blended and you're not getting any clumps. So make sure all those are broke up. Let's keep moving. The bucket's sealed up and the airlock is in the grommet on the top. And I found a nice, cool, moderately out of the way spot for it. And we'll come back and rack this into a carboy in about 6 weeks. But that's a video for another time. Within about a day, you can see that everything's working just the way it should be. Airlock's working, yeast is doing its job, and fermentation is in progress. Fermentation's going to take, 8 weeks or so, so plan accordingly if you're going to try to make this mead for a holiday gathering or something like that. And that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate that thumbs up like. You can subscribe to my channel, and maybe I'll see you on the next video. No, baby, the video's over. They've got other stuff to do. Here, take this. We'll see them next time.